Welcome to Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off last week, but before we get started, I would like to thank the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. If you're watching on Twitch, scroll down, you should see some tiles there. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image and those tiles should pop up. Each of these links are not sponsors or partnerships. They're just products that we really like. The first on our list is the Speechless Bard. She and her husband make beautiful leather products, such as leather covers for your core rule books, and she's got a full line of dice bracelets. They're leather bracelets with cutouts of the dice shapes that can be done in multiple colors. She has a dice rolling mat that when you roll it up, it looks like a spell scroll. And all of this can be customized. She does all the work by hand. She is just fabulously, incredibly talented. If you are ordering for a gift idea or even for yourself, make sure you give yourself a little bit of extra time. She's in the UK, so it can take a little while for it to cross the pond. Next on the list is Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes beard products such as oils, butters, balms, and co-wash. They have a full line of eco-friendly, aluminum-free deodorant and spray-on colognes now, and each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Today, I am wearing the last of my Harvester beard oil, which is a fall scent. It smells like crisp red apples. But yeah, we really like it. Devin and Cameron are pretty happy purchasers of Fable Beard products. So yeah, it's not just me. We have some testimonials out there. Definitely check them out. If you're a first-time purchaser, they have a buy one, get one free option. If you go to fablebeardco.com, you can create a profile, and if you put 2 beard oils in your cart and use the code FIRST, that second oil will be discounted to free. Last on our list is the Dogmight Games. They make absolutely beautiful wood products for your tabletop games. And hold on a second, and I will show off some of their stuff here as an example. So I got my wife these for Christmas, but this is a good example. So this is the Player Vault, and the Player Vault is a combination dice vault, dice tray. It has an area to hold a pen, and then the top actually holds, it's plexiglass, and the top is held on with magnets, and you can have it etched. I don't know if you can see it very well. You can have it etched with a character sheet of your choice, and then that way while you're playing, you can write your notes and whatnot on the plastic or on the plexiglass. You can keep track of hit points up here. She's got spell slots, temporary hit points. It is a pretty awesome thing. Then there's the collapsible dice tower, and the whole thing collapses down for easy transport if you're playing at other locales. But hold on, I have to be smarter than the wooden dice tower, which I'm going to fail at that. So yeah, here is the dice tower all put together, and she can just drop her dice down the top, and there's these little shapes inside that make them rattle around, and they drop out into the felt-lined bottom. So yeah, and all of their stuff is also customizable. However, they also have a section on their page for items that they currently have that are pre-made, that are in stock. And, if you're custom building something, it can take anywhere, just to build it from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on how fancy you want to get. But the stuff that they have in stock usually ships within 2 to 3 business days. So if you're able to find something that you really like, you can have it a lot sooner than some of the other products. If you are a fan of our Traveler game that we play on Wednesday nights, we do have a website. If you click that link, it'll take you to the website via Obsidian Portal, and the adventure log on there is written in the manner of Traveler News Service blurbs, little articles that don't just detail what is going on with the characters per se, but actually the region as a whole as these guys move their way through the Trojan Reach. So definitely, if you like it, please give us a fan like, show us that you like it, and we hope you enjoy. There's Rexar.
Hi.
Did you have a good Christmas, Corey?
I got a lot of socks.
Well, you know, socks are always good.
Yes. When I was a kid, I was like, ew, socks. And I'm like, socks.
Right? Yeah. So, where we left off last week, these guys had a laundry list of to-dos. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's having a hard time keeping all the threads from completely entangling. There was a deep conversation on trying to remember what they needed to do. They seem to have gotten that figured out. Thankfully, Carrie was keeping a honey-do list for the captain. And they have decided that the spare part that they had manufactured, they were going to just ship that to the world aboard one of their vessels. And other things happened while they were on the floating palace. And one of those things being that they discovered there were two Aslan Ihatisho class scout ships that were scoping out the surface of Drinax. And they got into a space battle, and, well, it wasn't even a space battle. It was an atmospheric dogfight. And they really beat the hell out of this Ihatisho and crashed it into the wastelands of Drinax. King Oleb wasn't real happy about that because he kind of wanted that ship. But you were able to get some valuable data. Like, you could see from the scans that were on this scout ship that these Ihati were definitely scoping out basically land options on Drinax, which is not good. You don't want a bunch of Ihati showing up on your door. Now, these guys already know that there was a ton of Ihati, thousands and thousands of them camped out on Kteiroa. Kteiroa is not that far away, so Drinax is looking pretty tasty to the second sons, and that's making everybody nervous. So, Casil the Outcast, who is a Roif outcast Aslan that has been staying in the court of the floating palace of King Oleb, has offered to help you guys, and all you have to do is he's got a ship. It is a Kteiroa class courier ship that is stashed in a asteroid in the belt of the Drinax system, and if you guys can fly him there, you can kind of hide the Harrier there in this crater on this asteroid, transfer it to his ship, and he can get you through into Aslan space, kind of on the down low. And the idea was that you would, there are several humans that follow these Ihati bands around because Aslan on the general, especially Aslan males, are not that good on the technical aspects. So a lot of times they'll hire out to these humans to show up and be technicians and whatnot. And Ihati bands on the general have very few females. There are some, but there's not as many as you would see in like the Aslan military or in the Navy. And so a lot of the stuff that these guys are using just falls apart. And so that is going to be your cover story. And essentially, King Oleb has said that he doesn't care, how you do it. Just get them to not attack Drinax. He did say specifically, where is it here, that he would kind of want Drinax's name to be kept out of it. let's see. He was very specific about this. Oh, he says he would of course want you to avoid implicating Drinax in any underhanded business or, well, war crimes, atrocities, or thermonuclear explosions. So basically, you guys are disavowed for this particular mission. But if these Ihati bands flood in, Drinax is boned, and that means you guys are boned because you wouldn't get your titles, you wouldn't get any payout from any of this, and so yeah, you know, everybody loses if that happens. So before you leave, is there anything that you would like to do on the floating palace, or are you pretty much ready to go?
I probably should have researched the battle dress options before we left, but I didn't, so I don't know. So I have some questions. There's not enough land on Drinax to give out to these Aslans, right? If there's more Aslans than land.
Well, to put it this way, yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, there are Vespexers already living on Drinax. They're the survivors of the fallout, so to say. Yeah, you could give out some land to these Aslan, and it probably wouldn't be a big deal. The big deal part of it does come in, though, where, you know, if you give, you know, one group, let's say there's 20 of them, and you're like, you 20 can have land on Drinax. Well, then the other 980, you know, Aslan behind them are going to be like, well, what about us? And then the other side of that is that part of the Ihati, I guess, system is that if they see land and they think they can take it, even if it's from other Aslan, they will battle it out with them and take it from them. So essentially what you could be opening up Drinax to is this constant system of the planet being assaulted by Aslan warbands trying to take land from other Aslan warbands. So to answer your question, I don't know that you really want that.
But they might swoop in and try it anyway, even if we don't give them land, right?
Right. So the better option would be to find them a tastier target. Rather than Drinax be like, hey, Fantasy has like a small colony of ex-slaves. They're not going to give a shit. Why don't you guys go park yourselves there? Or, hey, look over here. There's porn.
I call it my favor from the guy at the scout service. Because he'll know the planet that they could go to.
That's true. You could.
There's also you could send them to Ergo and let them fight it out.
That's true.
Yeah, they could fucking trash the people on Ergo.
They would.
Yeah, those guys have nothing on their side.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that too. And so, I mean, you've got some options, but you're going to have to kind of weasel your way into the good graces of the leaders of these Ihati camps. And of course, there's not just one leader. You're going to have to play this Aslan political game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Will we get any credit for having done the whole thing with Prince of Territorial?
Do you get what now?
Any clout? Like, will they give a shit that we did that?
Yeah, you might. In fact, because Prince of Territorial was leading an Ihati warband. So you can, in the right circumstances, you can invoke his name and how you helped him out. And that could play well in favor of your deliberations.
All right. I don't have anything to do on Drinax. Does anybody else?
No. You were going to research some stuff for your battle dress options.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good the way it is, though. So it's not like.
Oh, most definitely. But let me give you my personal what I would do if you were to buy some additional upgrades. As soon as I find it, here we go. So you have standard battle dress, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And standard battle dress has. See what I find. Standard battle dress. Assault, artillery. Yes. I want to say it has 16 slots, but oh, here it is. So your battle dress has 16 slots. For options, I mean, you for 15 slots you can attach a vehicle weapon mount. So, like, you would just have this ginormous autocannon or plasma gun hanging off your shoulder. That would take up 15 slots, but man, that's pretty awesome. Another one, this is a really good one. This might take you a little bit of hunting down, and it takes up no slots, is Camouflage. A disruptive pattern painted across the surface of the battle dress will allow a traveler to blend into his environment. It gives you, let's see, gives you a DM, it gives you +2 to stealth checks. Until 7, this bonus can be applied to infrared. So it would also camo you against infrared detection. And at TL12, the camouflage becomes multi-chromatic, allowing it to change colors to suit different environments. So it's chameleon.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So that would be something. And I mean, that's only TL12 camouflage add-on is only 5,000.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Fancy. Get the fanciest fancy. Well, it'll come in handy later.
Predator armor.
Yeah, it's basically Predator battle dress, yeah.
Except you're humans when you pop, you go, oh, hey, Bob.
So, the options for battle dress are on page 36 of the Central Supply Catalog, if you want to look at some more. But yeah, Camouflage is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, am I able to find that on Drinax and just buy it?
I would say that Rashonda would have something like that, yeah.
Okay, I subtracted the money and put it on my character sheet. I think we're good to go.
Okay, excellent. All right, so Ching Shi, go ahead and make a piloting check plus Dex.
10.
Okay. So you take off from the floating palace and head out out towards the asteroid belt. So the mid-system, so Drinax, of course, is in the habitable zone. It's like the third or fourth out from the star. And then about midway all the way out into the middle of the system is a small asteroid belt where Cassiel's ship is stashed. Travel out to this belt is going to take you about 4 days. So I mean, it would be a waste of time and fuel to jump because a jump is going to take you a full week to get out. No matter how far you go, so you might as well take the 4 days. And Cassiel in this 4 days kind of tells you a little bit more about himself. Anybody who wants to get in or to kind of learn more about Cassiel and his background, go ahead and make a persuasion plus charm check.
Cool. Keep doing it.
I got a 9.
Thanks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I only have 8.
Okay. Rexar and Keith, are you going to try interrogating or I mean, talking with Casil?
I got a 4.
Oof. Oof. Rexar, are you there? Or did we lose you? We may have lost it. Well, Xing Shi, you don't really get a whole lot out of Casil, but the captain, you learn that Casil is he is very tight-lipped about his past and what has led him to this current situation, but there are some indicators that you're picking up that Casil may be somebody important in the Herate. Kind of along the lines of like Prince of Kteiroa was. Like, this guy, he's attached to some high-up mucky mucks. But you do learn a little bit, aside from him, he tells you a little bit about the Arroy Eve clan. And the Arroy Eve are very, they are very active in the Trojan Reach. They are actually one of the most active clans. And they have a kind of a trade deal with the Kteiroa clan that these guys are... This clan is not as much about overtaking entire regions as many of the Aslan clans are, but they are more, they have kind of migrated into dominating and taking over trade markets. And so the Arroy are actually some of the biggest traders between the Florian League and the Empire clear into the Aslan Herate. They are a member of, or they have a seat on what is called the Tlaku. The Tlaku is a council of clans that are operating in the Trojan Reach. The Aslan Herate in the Trojan Reach really is a section of colonies. And he explains to you that there's all this, for instance, King Oleb is sending you to Kteiroa with the idea that you can negotiate with the, and he holds up his claws and he's like, the leaders of Kteiroa to stop an Ihati invasion. And he says, this is the problem with humans, is that you don't understand that the Herate, Aslan do not have a centralized government. All the clans operate independently. They do have councils, and they have what they call the Kteiroa, which is an honor code. You've learned a little bit about that from Rexar. But it's not like you can go to the president of the Aslan and say, hey, stop doing all that evil, and the problem's just going to go away, because you'll talk to one Aslan that claims to be the leader, and then behind him there are 50 other Aslan who are also the leader of their individual groups. So he says this is one of the reasons that that the Empire won the Aslan border wars, is because, you know, humans work in conjunction with one another, whereas the Aslan oftentimes are working at opposite ends or against each other.
Has there been anybody that's been successful at keeping the Aslans from trying to invade?
Yeah.
Like a speaking word?
So there was, I want to say that it was like in 300. And keep in mind that it's now 1105, so this has been going on for a long time. But in like 300, there was a war fought between the Third Imperium and the Aslan. And basically, the Aslan Herate was trying to come in and take over the Soleimani, or the Soleimani Confederation. And so the Empire came in and with the help, or joined with the Soleimani in beating back the Aslan. And that ended with the Treaty of Kteiroa, which you have a false treaty that you've been using to your advantage. But that treaty was the result of that. And the treaty basically says, the real treaty basically says, that the Aslan will not attempt to come something like within 1,000 parsecs of Imperial space. The reality of that is that whoever signed that treaty doesn't speak for the entire Aslan Herate. But because of their honor system, the Aslan Herate is kind of honoring it. But they're not under any legal... they're not forced legally to really do it. And I mean, nothing would happen if they didn't. I mean, it might spark another war, but Aslan kind of dig wars.
All right. Shit. That's not good.
Yeah, so that kind of explains the complications of this entire endeavor. As you are approaching this asteroid, who wants to make an electronics sensors plus intellect check? Go for
I'll
it.
do it. Good sensors and intellect. 12.
Ooh, that's really good. You definitely got that. Let me see here. Then the question is, did I put this? I did. Okay. So your sensors pick up, and you pass over this asteroid once or twice, and Casil kind of leans over Qingxi's shoulder, and he kind of points, and you see on the edge of the horizon of this big asteroid, you see that there's a big crater. It looks like probably another asteroid smashed into this one of equal or larger size and took a chunk out of it. And he points at that crater. He goes, "My ship is hidden in that crater." And Captain Beth, you pass back over it with the sensors one more time, and the sensors pop up with these stats showing that this is what it is picking up hidden in that crater. Basically, your MAD scanners picked up a 200-ton class ship, and this is what it detected. MAD standing for Magnetic Anomaly Detector. And this...
Good news, it's got a sandcaster.
And this is what it looks like.
I like the paint job, definitely.
That reminds me of like a hypnotic version of the bird of prey.
Right. Yeah, kind of. So yeah, that's what your sensors pick up. And as you are coming over this lip, you kind of turn on your exterior lights, and you can see the ship tucked down in the shadow. And I mean, if there was a lesser sensor operator, nobody would have detected this thing is out here. So, Qingxi, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check. We'll see how well you can land and link up.
That would be a 16.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, no problem. She makes this look easy. She's like, do you want me to land upside down? I can do that too. So yeah, she sets it down perfectly right next to it. The docking collar comes out and connects up, and you are able to transfer over to Casil's ship. And here is the plan. Maybe. Here it is. Right here. So the upstairs top deck, or deck 3, has a shrine built into it. Deck 1 is all fuel and processors. There are 2 turrets. 1 double turret, 1 single turret, and then crew living areas and the bridge and whatnot. Let me put you guys on the map just because. Oof. Sorry, you're going to be really small. It's a tiny little Qingxi. Actually, I guess it's not as small as I thought, but it's still pretty small. Rexar, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm stuffing my face with Funyuns.
Oh, okay.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm sure Keith wants to check out the engine room. So that's where Keith always goes, is the engine room. And Rexar, the guns are operated from the bridge. We'll put him right there. Okay. So, Casil comes in, he takes a seat on the bridge, and he allows Qingxi. So the first thing that you notice about this ship, is when you come aboard, the air smells really nice. Like, it doesn't have that stale, recirced, scent that you're used to on starships. There's like a faint perfumey kind of incense smell in the air. The interior of this ship is immaculate. Now, this is an Aslan courier vessel. And let me bring up that. I'm already there. Never mind. That again. Just to show you this. So, this is considered an Aslan courier ship. This has longer legs than you're used to. It has jump 3. It's not quite as fast as the Harrier with a thrust of 4. But for all intents and purposes, this is designed for, it's a courier. So it's designed for taking mail and packages, from point A to point B, which is one of the reasons why it has such a long jump capability. But one of the things about it that you're seeing is that this is no regular courier ship. The interior of this place is immaculate. It looks like a royal yacht. Like where it shows here, these are double occupancy rooms, is what it shows on the map. No. These are all single beds. And they're quite large beds. They're filled with, heavily stuffed comforters, and every room on here looks like it's made for a noble's cabin. And he basically tells you, you know, feel free to take whatever room you want. He's in number 7, which is his room, his personal room. And he says, you know, take whichever room you want. We'll be in drive space for a week, so I want you to feel comfortable.
This is the nicest ship we've ever been on, I'll tell him.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually not a lie. It is.
Can we steal it?
It would be. It would be. This would be on par with the Harrier if the interior of the Harrier was completely remodeled back to factory specs.
So can we put our drive in this ship? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, you mean your maneuver drive?
This is like what did you say? Jump 3 and ours is faster.
No, yours. Yeah, the Harrier has jump 2, but it's got thrust 6. This is jump 3, but it only has thrust 4.
Thrusters. So then, are thrusters the kind of things that you can unplug from one?
Yeah, you could upgrade the power plant, sacrifice some cargo space, maybe one of the crew cabins. I mean,
so like full A-team building sequence and.
Yeah, I mean it can be done, and if you were to dry dock it, you know, for a couple months, it could be done. I mean it's not easy work, but it can be done.
Okay, just wondering.
So, he goes over and he's going to make the astrogation check, which he gets to do with a boon. And so he lays in the course, and Ching Shi, you can go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check to take off without scratching the paint on his fancy boat.
11.
Nice. So yeah, you you send the code for the Harrier to retract its docking umbilicus, and you lift off, no problem. And you look down, and this thing, I don't think it has holographic controls. Let me double check that. Maybe it does. I mean, it certainly could. The Harrier does, but no, that's not what I wanted. Almost. There we go. Let me take a look here. Nope. Yeah. It's regular controls, but I mean, this is a really nice ship. And you lift off with no problem. And you're already out, past the 100 diameter limit. So, Keith Clark, if you would like to make a J drive plus intellect check, you get a +4 to that.
Okay.
That is a 19.
Nice. Yeah. So you jump and are in drive space, jump space. Wow, drive space. I haven't thought of that in a long time. That's an old Alternity reference. It's the same thing, just a different name. So you jump into jump space, and you are 168 hours out from Kteiroa, I believe. Is it that close? Maybe not. Hold on here. What does this say? There's Drinax. Yeah, you are 168 hours out. So, there you go. So, while you are in jump space for the week, is there anything that you guys want to do? Or are we going to skip over the week of boredom? So here's something to keep in mind. So I don't know if you saw, but so I was looking over the increasing a skill or increasing a characteristic. So the experience points. If there is a skill that you want to increase or learn, on your character sheet where it says skill that you're training, you need to write that skill down. And the points that you get evidently cannot be saved. They have to be used right away. So, and I know why. It's a built-in mechanism to prevent characters from having, I've got a +10 and whatever, or, jacking skills way up. So if you have points that are already saved up, you can spend those however you would like. It doesn't have to be immediately, but you can spend them however you want. But yeah, they have to be spent immediately. So that's how that works. And I will try to not be so frugal with some of the skill points in the future. I mean, you might get 4 or XP points. Ooh, break the bank. So, So yeah, if there's a skill that you want to up, pick it out or learn, you can pick it out and write it down. And then when you get skill points, they go into that skill.
All right. I stepped my way just now.
Okay. Excellent. So the week goes by. Casil, you can tell, especially Rexar, you can tell that Casil has lived among humans long enough that he understands their ways, and he even understands the natural fear that humans have of Aslan. And so around you guys, he kind of takes a more timid and kind of gives you your space. He doesn't want to intimidate you in any way. But you can learn. You've learned that he gets what you guys are doing and how you go about things. And Rexar, you can kind of see that he's holding back and trying to not be so, overtly Aslan. Whereas occasionally, like Prince of Territorial, when he got pissed off, he tore up the entire cargo bay of that space station.
That poor robot.
Right. That robot is effed in the A. And so Casil seems like that probably wouldn't be an issue with him, because he gets that if he acts that way, you guys are going to feel intimidated and feel like your lives are threatened just by being around him. And he kind of gets that. But aside from you picking that up and watching how he acts, he really reveals very little about himself and kind of keeps to himself for most of the trip. He seems to spend a lot of time meditating on deck 3 in the shrine. Now, if you look at area 12 on deck 3 of the shrine up here, that's actually a pretty good sized shrine. He's got a good shrine set up here. That's impressive.
Are we allowed to look at it? Are there any clues to his past included in the shrine?
Ooh. Yeah, he spends a lot of his time meditating in there, but you can go in and, of course, take a gander when he's not in there. And, of course, Rexar is always free to go in there. It's an Aslan shrine. You guys, Qingxi, Beth, and Keith, you can make a recon check. Recon plus intellect. Rexar, you can make the recon plus intellect, but you can make it with a boon. So roll 3 dice and take the 2 highest. Oh, the USB drives that you guys got. We won't say what's on the USB drives on the air, but are they all working for you?
I haven't opened mine yet.
I
Okay.
plugged it in tonight, and I didn't look at it.
Okay.
It might-
We haven't been doing our homework. You're working way harder than us. I got 14.
Okay. The only reason why I asked is because I sent one to Luke as well, and he plugged it in and he says he's not able to get it to work. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's like pouring here
Oh, yeah.
so badly that I'm like distracted. You would think where I come from, I'd be used to rain, but this is like.
Yeah, there's like rain in the desert where it dumps 3 inches and then in an hour it's gone.
We got like 19 feet of snow in the mountains nearby, not that far away, and then it is absolutely pouring. Sorry.
So,
I got 10. I think we all did really well.
19, 10. Keith, what'd you get?
Well,
Okay. Rexar, what'd you get?
10.
Okay. So, all of you, it's really difficult to piece together. So an Aslan shrine is made up of little bits and pieces that are kind of memorabilia of whatever ancestors that they are putting to the shrine that they want to worship. You can tell. So one of the things that is set up kind of as like the main part of the shrine, and Rexar, you immediately recognize this. There is a suit of Aslan ceremonial armor that is on a stand. This is armor that is the best way to describe it is that it is akin to like samurai armor. And it is immaculately polished, the whole 9 yards. It is kind of there. It also, Rexar, you can determine that this armor is very old. Probably a good 1,000 years old, at least. So this has been passed down and passed down and passed down. And who knows who the original owner of this armor was, but he must be somebody pretty important to be up here in this shrine. Maybe he was the founder of the Ilroif. You're not sure. You also find that there are necklaces that are handmade necklaces, also very old, and little clan Ilroif like enameled cloak pins and hair beads for braiding the Aslan hairs and beards, items like that are set out on the, and there's like there's a little table that is made into a shrine with a very delicate linen cloth over it with gold embroidery on it, and all of these items are kind of laid out on this embroidery. Doesn't seem like there's any particular order. It's just, whatever. And there's a small copper bowl that's filled with water, and some form of flower petals have been, like rose petals, but not rose. But they've been dropped in the water. And Rexar shows you that it is tradition that you dip your fingers in the water and run them down your face, and then you pray to your elders. You find a sink and dip your head underneath it and lick the water out of the bowl as it drips off your head, as cats do. But there is an order to the worship, and there are numerous candles and incense sticks in here. This place reeks of incense. It's like, imagine a Catholic church on a Wednesday afternoon, like times 100. There's just a lot of incense in here. They're either Catholic or they're smoking pot. You're not sure. But it is clear that if he has this suit of armor, he was somebody important. And you're not, that he was exiled means that he either went against somebody else who had, more clout or more land, and he disobeyed them, or he did something really, really bad to get kicked out of the clan. Exiled. Not kicked out, exiled.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't want to give away too much because he features in the future. So I don't want to ruin an upcoming story. So yeah, after 168 hours, you guys come out of jump, and you are like almost dead on where you're supposed to be. I mean, that 100 diameter limit, you're like bam right there. And Beth, your sensors immediately, the passive sensors immediately start pinging that there are vessels in the vicinity. Now, when I say in the vicinity, like, within 90,000 kilometers, you're pinging ships.
Do I need to run more sensor scans or just
Sure.
tell everybody?
Go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus intellect or EDU check.
So 11.
So, yeah. So on your 11, you're able to pick up multiple ships of varying tonnages. There are small 110 scout, Ihachi class scout ships. You are seeing 200-ton courier ships like the one that you're in. And you're seeing much larger ships, up to 1,000 tons. All of them are ahead of you going in towards Kteiroa. And then you pick up a radiation signature showing that there's a ship coming out of jump. And coming out of jump, you see another 600-ton. All of these are Aslan vessels, and they're all heading to Kteiroa. And your sensors are also showing that Kteiroa itself, there are several ships that are like in a holding pattern orbit before they land down on the planet's surface.
So there's a bunch of traffic. Do we need to hide or anything? No, we have a cover story. Never mind. All right.
So Casil comes up to the bridge and he says, don't make any overt actions. If you are hailed, I can go ahead and take the comms and I can deal with it. We will get down to the surface without any problems. As you're coming in towards the planet, you receive two messages. First, you're hailed by Kteiroa spaceport, and I say that grudgingly. Utea is giving offers for refueling and docking at the spaceport and lucrative trade deals for any that want to dock. We'll give, if you have things that you want to trade with the spaceport, we'll give you 20% off your next refueling needs.
Any coupons?
Who's operating the communications?
I thought the guy was.
Well, he would take over comms if it's important, but who's monitoring the comms console?
Oh shit. I would hope it's Jingxi.
We'll say that the phone is right next to the pilot's chair.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make an electronics comms plus intellect or education, your choice.
Okay. Oh, no. I don't hear anything. It's busy.
Nakalakafisai. No speaky English.
Someone might have to roll back up. Maybe do we have a party line? Because I got snake eyes.
Okay. So
2, 3. I mean, it comes to 5.
the communication that's coming through from Kteiroa spaceport is kind of staticky and garbled. I mean, you're still a long ways out. You're at least 48 hours before you get to the planet itself. So this kind of thing's not that unusual, and it's not like they have a high-tech transceiver to begin with. But the voice on this comm sounds distinctly female. At least that's the gist that you're getting. But they introduce themselves as Utea of Kteiroa Starport. Now, the Utea that you met was male. I think you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. So it's the same name?
Same name. But from the staticky... So from the static that you're getting through, the voice sounds female, but you're not able to get a clear image to see who is talking to you.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking if the voice and the fuzzy image doesn't match up, is it the kind of thing where you have your family name first and your individual name second, like they do in some countries?
No.
So like it was a sister or brother of the person?
No.
Or the sister of the person? No? Okay. Man, I really wish I rolled better.
The,
So I can't, not only I don't have a face, but I also don't have the message because I rolled so bad, yes?
So you don't have the face, and you can't put a definite finger on that this is a woman speaking to you, but
Sure.
Okay. The messages are coming through. I mean, clearly, whoever is on the comms right now seems to be doing a pretty extensive job of trying to market lucrative trade or trying to bring trade to Kteiroa.
Okay.
By offering discounts on fueling.
I was confused. I thought those were two separate things. Like we were getting messages from the surface about that, but
No.
This is like...
No, that's all coming from Utea, who's claimed to be Utea at Kteiroa Starport.
I misunderstood. Okay. Well, where you don't know who it is, it doesn't sound like what we were expecting.
On the other channel, you are being contacted by somebody saying, clearly male Aslan, this is Toiho the Brave. Are you coming into the system to join our great Ihati bands? Land 20 kilometers north of Kteiroa spaceport and join the holy goodness of our war bands. Come and get land.
Okay. So this is like used car salesman central. I'm just going to convey our options to Captain.
If you invest now, you can be a part of a lucrative land deal.
Only find 3 friends. And then they find 3 friends. And then they find 3 friends.
Right.
And you get all the money.
That's how Ihati work, yes.
We come from Clan Lularoe.
Would you like to go skiing in Aspen?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
We aren't interested. I don't know. Is this kind of something important enough to bother that guy? No. We'll just ignore their offer.
Block number.
Scam likely. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, do we have a contact we're meant to speak to?
Well,
Because it was the guy that's on our ship now that wants us to go get a ship for Kteiroa, right? I'm gonna keep saying Kteiroa, even though I know it's not quite right.
yeah, I know it's a difficult word. Yeah, Aslan truck is difficult to speak, and I know I'm butchering it. So Casil says that I mean, obviously we're gonna have to refuel, but the Aslan, the Ihati war camp will have. He tells you they'll have hoses running all the way back the 20 kilometers to the starport, where for refueling ships. And he says, I know that you've been here once before. Don't expect much. Their refueling process basically means that they're dumping PVC pipe into a thawed out an ice hole and basically cracking the water through a fuel processor to fuel your ships. It's nothing fancy, but you can set down at the war camp. You don't have to land at the starport.
Okay. But is it Casil that wanted us to steal the ship to add to their...
No, that would be Utea, who, the male Aslan, who you were under the impression was the leader of or who owned and ran the Kteiroa starport.
Right.
I'm calling it a starport because even though it's a Class D spaceport, it's the only spaceport. So it technically classifies.
Because it seems like the best plan, I mean, if we've decided we're going to help them, then the best plan is to land there rather than think around.
You certainly can. It's up to you.
Well, I'm just giving my input. I'm not making the call.
What do you guys want to do? You can land at the spaceport or you can land at the camp.
Let's land at the spaceport. I agree with Chinchi. That's the best idea.
Okay.
Rexar, are you good with that?
Sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll see some friends from days of old. That'd be good. Have a nice little surprise reunion. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go to the spaceport to the buy 1 gallon, get 1 free. We'll give you discounts if you trade here, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so Cheng Shi, make a, let's see, this will be a routine piloting plus dex check for docking at the spaceport.
11.
Made that look easy. So you come down. Now, I don't know if you remember, but this is my AI created picture of what Kteiroa Spaceport kind of looks like. Since I didn't have any 3D images of it. But I do have a map. And that map is this. If I can find out where I am at. So the first thing I will show you, this is the Kteiroa space or star system. And so you'll see that Kteiroa is fairly close to this fairly ugly star. This is this star is kind of faint. It's on the dying end. Or not necessarily the dying end, but it's not a what they call ours a yellow or a yellow dwarf or an orange dwarf. It's not like that. It doesn't put out as much heat as our sun does. Hold on, I have to beat a cat. Cassie, what are you doing? Stop that. Anyways, you'll also notice that there is a large gas giant, which, of course, I mean, if you want to do, refueling, wilderness refueling, you can refuel at Belafo. There are a number of other planetoids here: Meon, Vorka, Vansis, Sanka. They're all rocky planetoids. Iron core, but other than that, they're fairly useless. So this is a rare look at a star system. And as you set down, this is the starport. So there are gun emplacements, anti-aircraft guns, missile launchers are stationed around, and you are told to stay on vector. These are the landing pads for the spaceport. There are a number of cargo containers. This number 2 up here is this is the ice cracking plant that they have basically dug into or through the permafrost to the liquid water underneath and are cracking it for hydrogen. This area here they have, basic hotels / hostels, some small trading booths, things like that, but not a whole lot. There is this area here where there are cargo storage. These octagons here lead into an actual ice cave where they actually store cargo, kind of out of sight. So all of these buildings, the amenities and whatnot, they are all buildings that are built into ice. The temperature outside is a rather chilly, minus 32 degrees Celsius. So it is quite cool. Air's breathable, though. You probably want a respirator to kind of warm it up a little bit, though.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to remember whose idea it was to have this to potentially help with spaceport.
Well, I mean, it was an offer thrown on the table. I mean, it's worth a lot of money, for one, which you guys haven't really ever complained about money before. So there's that.
Offer on the table, though. I'm trying to remember.
Utea was the one who put the offer on the table. The male Utea.
All right.
So you try tracking them down.
They would be at 3, where the amenities and accommodations would be located. And from here, there's a trail that starts at the top of 3 here, and it goes all the way up to 7, all the way up here. That trail leads up to the Ihati war camp.
Well, let's go to 3 and talk with the guy first before we go to war camp.
Okay, so you step off the ship. I assume you guys are wearing what are you wearing? I mean, you have cold weather gear if you want to throw that on, but I mean,
does the armor have like little heaters in them?
Oh yeah, your combat armor will keep you perfectly warm.
I feel like this would be a place an eyelash if we walked in fully armored, since it's Aslan territory.
Right.
I feel like this is the one place where people will be like, "Hey, what's up?" Even though everybody's fully decked out.
Right. Yeah, nobody's gonna care if you walk off the ship in battle dress.
Well, I'll do it then because it's awesome.
Here's the one flip side of that. If you walk off the ship in battle dress, it's kind of going to blow your cover because your cover is supposed to be that of technicians.
Well, the combat armor won't because it's, for staying warm.
Yeah, the Aslan are going to know what battle dress looks like.
But combat armor, okay? Will we get away with that? Can we put cold weather gear on top of it or some shit?
Yeah, you could probably wear combat armor.
Okay.
I mean, it's still going to be iffy. I mean, they're going to recognize that too. Most of these Aslan have fought humans before, so.
But even as technicians, if like half of us have served, so like the fact that we'd have access to something like that, like, yeah, I could be a technician and still have military training, and therefore have combat armor.
That's true. And keep in mind, now, all of this conversation really applies to Ching-Shi, Beth, and Keith. Rexar, being an Aslan, doesn't have any of these problems. So, Rexar, how are you dressed?
I'm gonna have my flex on.
You're what?
Flex.
Okay. So you're not going full battle dress. You have human battle dress, so yeah, flex might be more appropriate in this. Like, if you're trying to show off your Aslan-ness, flex would probably be a better option for you. And of course, I assume you're bringing your axe.
I'm gonna wear my combat armor and like mutter to myself like a veteran and be a technician, but also have my combat armor on.
Just
Okay.
As soon as I try to think something, I mean,
put a tool belt on it.
yeah,
It's
With-
hard to have.
with your-
You'll be like, oh.
the scarf.
With your cybernetic retractable blade, you can be like, Aslan made me the woman I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, also, like, it would make sense I'd come off strutting, because I just beat that, whatchamacallit dude, the Aslan dude, in hand-to-hand in, like, the big arena.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
So I could walk out like I own the place.
That's-
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have a notch on your belt with that. So Beth and Keith, how are you gearing up?
Combat armor. Just that, not the full battle dress. Just like a little caution around these giant creatures with huge dew claws. So
Right. Yeah, no, that's a safe bet. Same with Keith.
Same with Keith, yes.
Okay. And you're going out, I assume you're going to have a long arm slung, or are you just going with pistols and knives? I mean, how diplomatic do you want to be? Because it's not like your pistols are, BB guns. I mean, most of you are carrying fucking hand cannons, so.
yeah, I'll just go with knives and short guns for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how much fighting we're gonna end up doing.
Well, you might be surprised. Although,
No.
So Rexar and Casil would know. Rexar knows this, but Casil tells you, any kind of combat that if there was any, and he says, be careful not to step on any toes or insult any of these Aslan males. They're ihati, and they've been cooped up for a long time, so many of them are very touchy. But if you do get into combat, first of all, know that my wishes are with you, and I will take your remains to your family if I need to. And second, most combat is going to be hand-to-hand. Ritual combat with Aslan in these kinds of matters will involve their dew claw, and usually you'll be given monkey knives.
You mean like these? And I have my
Right. If you kept your monkey knives, then you're ready to go. You may have an opportunity to get more.
It's in my Leatherman pouch on my belt. I just like,
Yeah.
like this.
Your Swiss Army monkey knife? Yes. It also has a toothpick and a wine opener.
I'm gonna flip one. They have rings on the box. I'm gonna flip one around my finger like this and be like, yeah, one in hand to hand.
So Casil sees you kind of flip that around and he goes, how did you obtain a monkey knife?
Kicked some ass. I fought for a prince's honor and won.
He said, there's no nobility in Aslan. What prince are you speaking of?
Oh wait, wasn't that his name? Wasn't he a prince? I thought he was a prince.
Well, everybody calls him Prince of Territorial, but that's only because he is the son of the head of the Awawi clan.
Okay. Well, I'll go with it anyway. I'm committed. A prince of territorial.
And so he rattles off Territorial's full name, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. I tried once before and I sound like an idiot. And he says, you mean the second son of the clan lord of Clan Iwawi?
That's right. Oh, I hope this isn't a bad idea. This turns out like everybody hates them and now we're all going to die. Oops.
He tells you.
I picked the wrong team. Wearing a cheese hat in Bear's territory.
He says, I had no idea that these events have transpired. It warms my heart that Territorial is alive and that you helped save him. However, I fear that I may have put your lives in terrible, terrible danger.
Noted. Keep that shit to myself. Okay.
So the
Put it back in my pocket. Let's go.
the clan that was really pushing to attack Clan Iwawi and wanted for Kteiroa to be executed, Clan Yarawao actually has a blood debt against Casil. And he says, and I'm embarrassed to say that that is part of the reason why I am exiled. So my presence with you has put you all in grave danger.
Okay, maybe you should go back on the ship.
We're also kind of used to it, so
Yeah, we're getting more and more okay with this entire situation. So he's dressed in flex armor, as I believe he's flex. Oh no, he's in a combat vac suit, but he has like a cloak wrapped around him, and he brings the cloak up, and he doesn't have the helmet on. He's just got a respirator over his face to kind of warm the air, and he brings the hood of this cloak up so that it kind of masks his features, and he says, we should go sign in with the harbor master.
okay. I think maybe we should bring the long guns team.
You can. You certainly can.
Yeah.
You gonna bring your advanced combat rifles?
Yeah, well, I have it written in my notes. You heal auto rifles. What are those?
So you hear? Oh yes. So I didn't. Hold on here. Maybe I did. I posted it to the group.
Oh, I missed it.
If you go and scroll up, the Yaheel is listed there. It is an auto rifle. You would recognize the Yaheel. So Rexar basically took parts from his advanced combat rifle and his Yaheel auto rifle and put them together and modded his Yaheel to be an advanced combat rifle. So his doesn't look like yours. His has got a bullpup design, and the barrel looks like it's been modded, and he's got a customized rifle, similar to his customized axe. But you're familiar with the design. The weird thing about it, of course, for you being a human, is that the Yaheel auto rifle, the grip is really big because it's designed for Aslan hands.
I bought you a woodpecker rifle thing.
Yeah, the woodpecker auto pistol Beth bought for you.
Okay.
I was just wondering if it did more damage, but it looks like it's about the same.
Yeah, they're not great. Oh, here's the big upside. The Yaheel auto rifle has 2 magazines that fit in side by side. So the magazine capacity is huge. And it'll feed from run and then automatically start feeding from the second. So Aslan like bullets. It's a bullet hose is what it is. It's a bullet hose.
Yeah, I'll still keep. I don't want to trip up because it's the big grips. So it's probably harder to make it be discreet. So I'll just use my advanced combat rifle. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. I'm sure Rexar can offer to modify your ACR for you.
I have. I've done it before.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a soldering iron. I know all about this.
I have a laser rifle. Is that a backpack laser rifle, or is that like a hand?
What tech level is it?
Let's see, what is it? 11?
So I would say at tech level 11, it doesn't have a backpack. There is a cord that goes to a battery pack on your belt, but it's not, you don't have this big backpack like you do on the lower tech level. Lower tech level for that is 9, which you're kind of like a Ghostbuster running around with this thing. But tech level 11, they've got it down to a battery pack that fits on your belt. It's still not a cartridge weapon, but the benefit of that laser rifle is that it gives you like 100 shots. So
Yeah, I was just trying to decide if I should take that instead of the advanced combat rifle.
ooh, laser rifles are badass.
Yeah.
So 400 meter range and 5d plus 3 damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You get it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'll take the Nova gun.
Cassie, fucking weirdo. So, when the pandemic started, and we got my kitten, Cassie. I was still doing games out at my desk, and she would come up and she would stick her head in my whiskey glass, and evidently that has stuck with her. And she is the only cat I've ever known that likes whiskey. I mean, I try to make sure that she doesn't do it, but I mean, what am I going to do? So, anyways, and now she's attacking the Christmas tree. Hold on. Get. Don't tip over the Christmas tree. I swear to God, cat. All right. Not that anything on this tree will break, but still. So, you get to the accommodations area, and Casil kind of walks towards the harbor master's office. And you have been here before, and you see out front this Aslan kind of standing by the door, barking orders to people that are moving around. This is the Aslan that you know as Utea. He's a male, and, you know, he's dressed in cold weather gear, but, you know, Aslan in cold weather gear, he is dressed warmly, but he's got like a red sash with the Utea starport insignia on it. And that looks like, where is it? I know it's here because I showed you guys this. Where is K? There's K. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. This is what is... You're seeing these banners all over the place, and this is on his red sash that's crossing his body. Rexar, you've never seen this before. This looks like a new clan. What you would take it as a new clan sigil. But you've not heard of any clan that fits this. And this guy's ordering people around. The door's open into the harbor master's office. What do you guys want to do?
So, I guess the first question is, who is Utea?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Why is Utea?
No.
Do you want... I mean, you guys are supposed to be kind of undercover. Do you want to approach him, or do you want to just walk into the harbor master's office?
Yeah, I think if we're undercover, we should probably avoid him for the moment.
So pull your hoods up and kind of walk in.
Yeah.
Well, how many not Aslans are around?
Ooh, that's
We're talking about being subtle, but if we're the only 3 humans,
so Ching
in the
Shi.
entire port.
So Ching Shi make a.
No matter what.
So Ching Shi make a Recon plus intellect check.
Recon plus intellect is 10.
Okay. You at the landing pads, there were 3 humans that actually came running over and were ready to hook your ship up, but they were being overseen by an Aslan female.
Okay.
And she's basically, telling them what to do, where to go, and they're kind of going over your ship, and
Sure. I just meant if we walked into the harbor masters, even if we're like sneak, 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 and we're the only 3 pale faces in the building, there's really no point in trying to be sneaky. But,
right? Yeah. No, there are other humans here.
okay. In that case, yes, I suggest we enter real subtle like.
Okay, so everybody make a. Rexar, are you stealthing or are you just walking in?
Oh, maybe we should act like we work for Rexar.
You could do that
because they definitely prefer subservient humans.
They like that, yeah.
So maybe we all answer to Rexar.
Hello, I'm the boss now.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that this is going to go great. So, Casil kind of leads you guys in. God, I guess that wouldn't... I will give you the choice. Ching-Shi, Beth, and Keith, you have the choice. You can make a stealth plus dex check, or you can make a deception plus charm check. This is going to be like where you put Rexar in charge. It's going to be like where they went to the mud planet and put the doctor in charge on Firefly.
Yeah.
I got 6.
We're doing stealth. Yep.
Oh, I went
Your choice, either stealth or deception.
Oh.
Okay.
All
All right.
No. Okay. So I got 6.
I got 12.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
What did Ching-Shi get?
I got 9.
Okay. So Beth starts to kind of lag behind, and Rexar, make a recon plus intellect check.
9.
Nice. So you see the male Utea that you know kind of look out of the corner of his eye and start to turn and look over towards Beth. How do you want to deal with that?
He's looking at who?
He's looking at Beth. She's kind of lagging behind. She only got a 6 on her stealth check. So he's kind of noticed her. But she's wearing combat armor with, a scarf around her neck and whatnot. How do you want to deal with that? Phew.
Oh, my friend who I've offered to train in the ways of the Aslan warrior. Come with me. And I put my arm around her and
Make a deception plus your territory plus your social.
plus territory.
Mm-hmm.
So much math.
I know. There's so many things to add up.
That's exactly an 8.
Okay. You see him kind of go, huh. Humans. And he turns and goes, yeah, speaking of humans, you over there, get back over there and hook up those ships. They need to have fuel. And you step into the fairly warm interior of the harbor master's office. And from behind the table, you see a female Aslan wearing grubby coverall, like bib style coveralls, and she's got wrenches and whatnot in her pockets. And she looks up, and she goes, "Is that Casil?" And wait, she looks at Rexar and she goes, "Move your mask down. Are you Rexar?"
Baby.
And shit. Hold on here.
Why do you ask?
So she recognizes you.
Uh-oh.
She's a stalker.
Oh my god, I know him.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. I have to go through every book I own, right? Sorry, I'm trying to find Rexar's clan name. It's in one of the Journals of the Traveler's Aid Society. I don't think it's in 3. I thought it was in 2. I've only copied and pasted this like, I don't know, a couple hundred times. So I should know this like by memory by now.
Why doesn't Rexar know it, huh?
Rexar, I know Rexar might know it.
Hold on. I'll tap. It isn't on my character sheet, but it should be. Because we came up with the clan name after the character was created.
Right, yeah. We were trying, it was like, oh, it was a minor clan, blah, blah, blah.
That's because it was designed to be a one-shot character.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't, that character, we didn't dig too deep into it, and we decided to keep going with him. He's a good character.
Messenger. There's a button that lets me search our entire conversation for it. Searching conversation.
Oh, wait.
Rexar's clan is a vassal of...
Is it a vassal of Aurora Heath?
It is a vassal of Kteiroa.
Kteiroa.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So you're a vassal of Kteiroa, but what's the name of the clan itself?
Oh, there it is. Rexar belongs to the minor clan Kteiroa. Hold on. Let me copy paste this. There you go.
What?
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, they always are. Oh, you put it into
Roll 20.
Oh. No, I don't think that's right. Hold on here. It's not that one. Yeah, there's a whole write-up about your clan in Traveler's Aid Society. So this one has Space Bazaar in it, which we love the Space Bazaar. God damn it, this is kind of important.
Teeny tiny bit.
The spaces are full of worms again.
Yeah, there's worms. There's a lot of worms.
Sweet. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get worms. That's very, very odd. Okay, so yeah, he is vassal of Kteiroa. We're just going to go with it. So she says, Rexar, I have heard that you have done good deeds. I heard that you got some land.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot.
She says, I'm a terrible host. My name is Utea.
Uh-huh.
She's a woman. You guys at this point, the humans know what a female Aslan looks like. And she goes, and she looks at you three, and she's like, wait, aren't you the pirates that are supposed to, and she kind of looks around, she goes, aren't you the pirates that are supposed to bring us a ship to expand our shipyard?
Oh.
We might have to discuss how psionics work, because I want to do it. We're not the droids you're looking for.
You're going to have to roll really good for that, because, I mean, she already knows that you, it's not a question. She recognizes you.
I'll wink at her. Do Aslans understand that?
Yes,
Like,
she
what's
does.
wrong with that pie?
And
Okay, good.
Casil steps forward and he flips his hood back and he says, Utea. And she looks and she goes, oh my God, Casil, what are you doing here? You can't be here. And he says, we are on a mission of great importance. And she says, you're always on a mission of great importance. That's why you're exiled. She goes, oh my God, you need to put that hood back on. And she turns to you lot and she goes, so, I'm probably not what you expected. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Yeah, so why are you female? And we
She
talked
says-
to this guy outside,
She says,
and he said he was you.
She says, look, so 20 kilometers up that hill is an Ihati warband full of males. I've carved out a nice little niche here being a spaceport, and I'm making money hand over fist trying to feed said band of males. Nobody's going to recognize a female Aslan as leader of this planet. So, I've decided to alter the deal by letting one of my several husbands, the gentleman that was standing outside, pose as myself for, how do you humans say, diplomatic and trade purposes? I think that's how you put it.
She's officially my hero.
Yeah,
I'd love to shake her
yeah.
off.
Holy shit. Way to go, lady.
She says, this doesn't alter our deal where you're going to bring us a ship with a suitable power plant, does it? Because we really need to expand. That Ihati warband camp is growing, and they are paying me a ton of money to refuel their vessels.
Well, we'd like to refuel here too, so yeah, we'll definitely go ahead with the deal.
She says, oh, excellent. That warms my dew claw. She says, so, you're docked here. That, since you're kind of on my payroll, we'll say 75% discount on fuel.
Awesome.
So that means it's only going to cost you 700 credits to refuel.
Wow. that is a very good deal.
Is it?
I don't know. So what do we need to do to get started on the expansion?
So she tells you, she goes, so to get, here's the deal. She says she needs a ship. Let's see, how many power points does it need to have? Oh, this is easy. She says, no, we only need a power plant that can supply like 60 power points. Normally, your normal 400-ton trader is going to supply that. So if you could bring a 400-ton trader, that's great. But the reality is we need a minimum of 60 power points. So, Keith, if you look at as an example, if you look at the Harrier, it'll tell you how many power points the power plant supplies in the stats. She says, well, that's just the start of it, of course, but that's a really good start. Of course, after the power plant, then we're going to need a water recycling unit. Because, I mean, these Aslan, and as she's about to say that, you see her comm system light up, and she goes, oh, hold on just a minute, and she picks up the mic, and you hear this Aslan, Utea, we're getting gray water and refuse from the sewage system coming through our showers again. I cannot go out looking like this. And she says, all right, I'll send a tech up. We'll try to filter it out and fix the lines, but you guys cannot be using all the showers at the same times. And she goes, so that is the reason why we need a water reclamation or water recycling unit. And then she says, and then in order to make all of this work, we need piping and conduits.
So the ship that has all the spice, we were going to steal it and give it to them, right?
So,
is that what we're doing?
So on your mobile comm, you probably have the specs for that ship. And here are the specs if you want to look at them. The specs for the Tough Trader that is supposedly carrying spice looks like this. And you're probably going to want to look at the PowerPoints first, but they are impressive.
Mm-hmm.
If you look under power plant, you only need 60.
So in my notes, it's that the spice run is on Triac.
That's the delivery point.
Right. So but I just mean that the people that want the spice are
right
on Triac.
Tassie Two Toes.
So yeah. So I have her name written down too. So we could get that ship, then go to Triac and drop off the spice, and then bring it back here.
Yeah.
Also, though, in some ways, this ship is nicer than a jabroni.
In many ways.
Most ways.
But it's only got jump 1.
Fuck. Okay.
And thrust 3. We're way faster.
If you're looking to upgrade the jabroni, just sit tight. I think we'll get you a secondary ship. Don't worry.
Okay. So it looks like stuff's pretty above board here. She's got a good plan for this particular mission. Shit. So I guess we should just go steal the spice.
So, well, I mean, you're here, so she's already charged you $700 for refueling, or 700 credits for refueling. She says, she looks at Rexar and Casil, and she says, she looks at Casil specifically, and she says, you wouldn't be here just to help expand my spaceport. And she looks at Rexar and she's like, why are you really back? And you haven't delivered a ship, so why are you here?
Rexar wants to get married.
What? Go on.
I think Rexar would be more interested in Casil than Utea.
Well, it could be a power thing.
Man, yeah, it just could be a wedding of convenience.
It would consolidate. I mean, especially if there are multiple husbands, it would consolidate. You know, he's from a lesser clan, but all of a sudden you'd be tied to.
I mean, hey, Qingxi's already put her
all the other clans that she's married into.
Qingxi's already put her name in the hat for Princess Rao, so you know. But I mean, I saw Princess Rao's haircut.
A Renaissance, like you're a Medici, and we're marrying you off.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I already saw Princess Rao's haircut, so I think maybe you're okay. I mean, I'm just saying, and I mean, you look at it, it's pretty obvious. Haircuts don't lie. Just a reminder. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
You're all trying to marry me.
But I mean for Rexar, like Rexar doesn't have to like the port harbor master.
Right. Exactly.
It just builds the empire.
Right.
It builds the legacy.
Wait a minute.
Gets more land.
Obviously, I'm not signing you up for anything. I'm just thinking diplomatically.
Like I'm being voluntold.
Voluntold.
No voluntelling.
So, I mean, you're already here. They're refueling your ship for 700 credits. She says, you know, why are you really here?
I gotta come up with something.
Take it away, Captain.
Do we want to tell her the truth? I don't know if that's a good
Well, I mean,
thing.
She
wanted to prove this. We're here to see it. We just needed details on what she wanted. Like,
she looks around. She goes, wait a minute. You're not just pirates.
yes, we are.
You're privateers.
No, we're not.
Triple threat.
She goes, I'm not stupid. You're here because Drinax sent
You're
you.
stupid. Not me.
Yeah.
No,
Because
Drinax sentence.
And Keith just gives it up. Yep, Drinax sent us.
No.
No, that's what I was just filling her in on what you said.
She goes, well, I'm not, I mean, I don't care about Drinax one way or the other, she says, but she goes, I personally, she goes, and she looks at Casil, she goes, shut that door. And Casil reaches over and he shuts the door into the harbor master's office. And she goes, personally, in my opinion, I think Drinax is a terrible solution. We bombed the shit out of that planet. There's not a whole lot left but irradiated waste. I don't know why anybody would want to live there, but I understand from scout ships that evidently there are humans that are still living there. I mean, what kind of life is that?
Yeah, it's a super dump.
She goes,
I don't know how this rumor started that we're affiliated with such a garbage hole.
I'll just explain medically how they get progressively more mutated down there. And that's basically what happens.
you know, first you grow another eye, then you grow a second penis. That's if you're a woman. But she says, well, she says, you've got your work cut out for you. She says, I would assume that you're trying to, my guess is that the King Oleb, is that his name? I don't know. You humans change kingdoms so quickly. Anyways, I assume that he's sending you to try and dissuade this Ihati towards a juicier planet. She says, you're going to have to deal with a number of Ihati leaders up there. The first of them, and I will just tell you about them in order. There's Ihai the Clever. He is from the Takisto clan. No, they don't like tacos. It's Tikisto. He's currently the leader of the Ihati clans up there. He is fairly a reasonable and cultured person. If you were able to get to him, he would be the one to most closely listen to you or whatever it is that you offer. Then there is Iyiki Two-Eager. Iyiki Two-Eager is of the Hitoyawao clan. And you guys know Hitoyawao because they were another clan that wanted to destroy Iwoi with Prince Kteiroa. He is really, I'm going to tell you a secret about him. He's angry and just looking for a good death. So maybe Drinax is a good idea for him because you will surely kill him first. She says, then there's old Elio. He doesn't have a clan. He's old. And he thinks all of these young Ihati are fools. But they all think that he is a fool and weak because he is as old as he is. And at 52 years of age, he doesn't have any land. And he has no females. They think he's a joke. But don't pass him up. He has some very good information. She says the real notable leaders of the Ihati are Fiuk. He was formerly of Clan Kiahi, but he has renounced his clanship. And then there is Tia. Tia is an agent of Clan Kiakahiro, and he's an agent of the Tlaku clans. Basically, his job is to try and focus the Ihati into a tornado of rage in whichever direction that the clans want to send them. But really, the one that you have to look out for is Toiho the Brave. He is young, at 24 years of age. He thinks he's invincible. You really need to look out for him. He's a very angry young man. Young kitten?
Dang, that is a lot to contend with.
Yeah, thank you for the information.
She says, you are working for me, so I will work for you. But please don't bring my name into any of this.
All right. We're really good at not bringing names in when people...
She says, hold on just a moment, and she goes over to her little 3D printer, and she types in some stuff, and she prints out some false IDs, neck lanyards, or clips that you can put on your cloaks. And she says, here, this represents you as members of my technical crew.
We're with the band.
She says, these will represent you as parts of my crew. So if you screw up, and I'm sure that you will, they will call me for customer service. So I will deal with that as it comes.
Wow, we befriended like the coolest person on the whole planet immediately. That's pretty sweet. Will she tell us why What's-His-Face was exiled?
She kind of, when you ask, you're like, why was Casil exiled? And Casil turns around and kind of goes, And she kind of lets out a laugh and she goes, it is a stupid reason. But no, I won't tell you. And she kind of laughs. She goes, I'll wait for you to either find out or Casil will be forced to tell you himself, which I will find even more funny.
Sweet. She's a bad bitch. I love her.
Great.
She's great.
She says, if my husband, who's been pretending to be me, gives you any trouble, just tell him that you already know that he is not who he says he is. Just go ahead and tell him to ignore you and to rightly fuck off. That is how the humans would put it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Done and done.
So, one of the things to describe to you, your entire week-long trip here on Casil's ship, the beds and all of the beds are fucking huge. So you were like, oh, well, these are supposed to be single occupancy beds. You could fit 3 humans in them.
Luxury.
Yeah. For you, but the chairs, not so much. Like the pilot's chair, like Ching Shi, there was like 2 feet of gap on either side. Like the arms were like way out here and the consoles were really big. Everything is scaled up. And the reason why everything's scaled up is the average height of an Aslan is like 7 foot. 6'8", I think, is like average height, but they get as high as like 7'4". So everything is scaled up.
Like, I'm gonna plunk down a great big phone book when I need to sit in the seat.
Right.
And like maybe one of those bead seat covers.
It'd be like short round and strap some blocks to your feet. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Because everything is big, and that's what you're seeing here too. Is that like the door to come in? An average door is 7 to 8 feet tall. These doors are like 10 to 11 feet tall. They're really wide. Instead of being like 4 feet wide, they're 8. Everything's huge. So the humans all feel really small being here. So, what is your next move? Are you heading up towards the camp? Is that your next move, or?
I believe so. Yes. Now we got a list of names.
Do we want to talk to clan leaders first, or do we want to steal the ship first?
Yeah, that's really your question, because the clan leaders might be more apt to talk when they're not pumping their sewage water through their showers.
That's true. But they might also be more likely to talk when they know that we've presented the harbor master with a ship, and maybe we can do something for them.
Anyway, right? So we'll have to bring it back anyway. So.
Right. Either way, you're good.
Yeah. So yeah, we can come back with the ship and also get paid handsomely for all the spice and stuff. So it'll be good. I'm looking forward to stealing the ship.
Okay. So we will break here, and next week we will pick up, and we're going to forego the couple of weeks of transit in jump space. But next week we will pick up with you laying a trap to pick up this. Well, let's pick where you want to pick this thing up. So hold on here. This is the Sindalian Main. And so the Sindalian Main basically goes, if you really scroll out, it goes all the way from if you look at Drinax, which is right here, this entire chain, if you go to the northwest, there's a chain of planets that goes all the way to this green area that says Yggdrasil sector. That is the Florian League. That is the Sindalian Main. So and this ship plies its trade along all of these routes, because remember, it doesn't have a huge jump range. So where do you want to waylay it?
Where do we have friends?
That is a good question. You have friends.
We have friends that. I think we have friends that.
You guys haven't really done a whole lot up here. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Are most of our friends at Acrid? Is that where our base is?
We have friends in Akron, we have friends in the world, we have friends in fantasy.
Yeah, so you don't really have. I mean, you've got friends on Marduk. You got friends on Borite, obviously, because you have your space station there. But
Yeah.
from Noricum to Janus, you guys haven't really done any whole lot of pirating up there.
We dropped some people off on Marduk once and we're like, good fucking luck. Maybe we should repeat that plan. That was pretty good.
It's unlikely that ship is going to hit Marduk. This line goes from Noricum all the way to Depress and Yggdrasil.
Okay,
So-
are they going to be dropping off spice all along these planets?
They're probably hauling spice. They may, if they were going to make a jump to transit, they would probably make it at Thebes.
Okay, I want to try and intercept them near Noricum again
Okay.
So
at the beginning.
at Noricum or
Now keep in mind, Noricum is amber zoned.
I don't know if that means.
So amber zone means it is a warning about the planet itself. The main world is your library computer tells you that Noricum was the seat of the Sindalian Empire and is currently interdicted with a yellow zone warning. Not interdicted, but there is a yellow zone warning about you need to wear protection, at least in the very least a hostile environment suit when going to the world, because many parts of the planet are biologically contaminated with numerous viruses, biologies, nuclear radiation. The planet was basically torn apart. However, it is still considered a garden world, and there are a small community of people that live there in habitable zones.
All right. Well, it seems to me like that's a good place to go because I doubt that the small number of people living there are going to have like a bunch of ships or get like pissed off at us for pirating nearby.
Right.
That's my guess.
So you want to jump to Noricum and wait and see?
Yeah, like try and intercept.
All right.
Okay, can we stop at Borite and raise the fleet?
I think that would be wise. We might end up in
In a hairball?
the
'Cause, I
back.
mean,
So-
we like sent a small-ish crew there with a small-ish fleet, and they've just been hanging out, hopefully doing a little pirating on their own.
So, okay. So, first of all, who has naval tactics? Yes. Okay. So, Qingxi, make a naval tactics plus intellect check.
10.
So, your naval tactics tell you that Thebes or number 1 would be a better location, either one of those, to try and wait out this traitor. 2, yes, you can stop at stop at Borite. How many ships do you want to take with you? So,
How many do we have?
Right.
I don't want them all, but I'm just wondering.
You can't have all of them because the rest of them are out doing what pirates do. They're out pirating.
But like we haven't checked in on the fleet. We haven't been able to communicate.
So
with them.
maybe we should start with you going back to Borite and checking out your station first.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
I think go to the station, see how they're doing, relay what we've done,
Okay.
pick up Timothy or Timmy or whatever his name is, and take a few ships with us to maybe number 1.
Okay. No, I like this
So
idea.
that it's a real ambush rather than just us like pew, pew, pew.
Okay.
'Cause we're good, but we'll be better with a couple more ships.
Yes, you are. Hold on here.
Sounds like a plan.
We will bring you back. So next week we will start you back on your space station, and we will discuss where you go from there and how many ships or what you can pull in to do this.
Right on.
Now I got a couple of I have a couple of things that the pirates have been doing while you were gone.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Have a happy new year, you guys. I'm going to have a bunch of people over here. If you guys are in the area and if you have nothing else to do for New Year's, you can come over to my place. We're going to be making old fashions and we're going to be barbecuing. I'm going to smoke, not barbecue. I'm going to smoke 2 prime ribs. We're going to have fondue.
food.
And there will be food and booze. And, that's all there is to New Year's, right? Is food and booze. I mean, pretty much.
Well, I'm going to.
Carrie, you can jump on a helicopter and come over here. You can land, in our parking lot. It's huge. And,
Pack parking.
yeah, you don't have to worry about guest parking. You just land right in the middle. And, but yeah, if you guys want to come over.
Cool.
We're going to play a lot of Cards Against Humanity and Dungeon Mayhem. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
you're very welcome.
All right.
All right. I will see you guys next week. Love you. Have a good, happy new year.
Yep.